Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwing and welcome back to another episode in my 100% walkthrough for Skylanders Giants. Today we're going to be moving on to chapter number 4. Count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it is titled Cutthroat Carnival. Of course, a quick little heads up for you guys. As you can see, I've already got the 3 stars for this particular chapter. Because, of course, with chapters number 3 and 4, I've already recorded them before. But for some reason, there was a file corruption. So that is why we are going to be just going through the areas. I'll be showing you guys what I know that you need to do in order to get all the different collectibles within this particular level. But that being said, we won't be able to actually see them because of the fact that I've already got them. So without further ado, let's kick this sucker off. Sorry. I don't know why my audio was completely messed up. It was like wailing into my ears. Sorry about that, guys. Alrighty, that's much better. Alright, so now when we kick things off, as you can see, right away, just go ahead and break some of this stuff. It's definitely worthwhile. Right over here you have some pretty good valuables as well. Sorry, I forgot. You should have gone this way. And then drop down right here, actually. The other way around. And then walk towards that way. And again, considering that you are probably most likely early on in the game, it's definitely a good idea to take advantage of any time that you have coins, because of the fact that, hey, you never know when they're going to come in handy, and especially early on in the game, getting the more upgrades you have, the easier it is going to be to pass through the game, especially if, let's say, you're playing again, all over again with some lower level Skylanders in nightmare mode. It's definitely going to be a little more challenging. So first off, right here, I believe there was something in here, maybe a treasure chest or something along those lines. But you want to visit this room right here, which was the Janitors Room. After that, you're going to go back up the platform, and you're going to actually head up this little kind of ship area, and then you're going to twist this particular platform so that you could go ahead and make your way across. So once you've made your way across, I believe that this is the first time you also get introduced to the Mohawk Cyclops enemies, which are basically, what they do is they've got these little tomahawks, and they've got almost kind of an invincibility attack in terms of when they start spinning, good luck trying to stop them. It's very, very difficult, so just try to dodge. Basically, that's my advice. Some people say that it's impossible to stop them, but I know for a fact that some people have figured out that there is a way to stop them. It's just that you need to, like, time the damage very, very well. Now, of course, once you've cleared all the enemies, that's when that platform is going to appear. Sorry. We're not going to go there quite yet. We're actually going to visit these 2 houses before we head off. So right over here, you would have to smash some stuff, and I believe here there was another treasure chest, so make sure to pick that up. And a popsicle, yummy. That's fantastic. Alrighty. Now, some people said that why is this series a little more kind of almost educational in nature on the last episode, and I was like, that's exactly what it's supposed to be, because it's supposed to be more instructional than entertaining. Of course, I'm trying to keep it entertaining, making some jokes and remarks every now and then, but at the same time, this is made much more for people who are struggling or wanna have some help. I'm here to help, basically. That's what I do here for you guys. Alrighty, so then we're gonna go ahead and smash and break some of these things around us. Oh gosh darn it. Well, you could go back for that coin if you wanted to. And then we're gonna go ahead and hop up here. Grab this key, of course, now that we've worked so hard for it. And now we can drop back down, open up the gate, and continue onwards, where we are introduced to Armored Chompies. I believe that this is the first time we are dealing with these fellas as well.
Triangle, a Skylander. I made the terrible mistake of accepting a job here. If I help you, maybe you can take me with you? The bridge is out,
I don't know.
which I could only assume is due to that large hole right there.
Whoa, that guy's a genius. He's like, yeah, that bridge is out, and I'm assuming that it's because it's got a giant hole in it. No duh, you genius. My goodness. Alrighty, so in order to solve that problem, there's a couple of things you have to do. So step number 1 is to turn this platform over here. Step number 2 is to place this giant crater onto it, and then and then you're gonna turn it again. And once you've done that, you're gonna go ahead and push the crate right into the hole that was there before. But of course, as you can see, that's what Blobbers, which is a fantastic name. Someone should have that registered on YouTube. But basically, what Blobbers tells you is that he forgot to tell you that, hey, it's also locked by a key. And that is why you have to head off to this side of the map. Once you move this crate, you're gonna get assaulted by a ton of armored chompies, so be ready to fight back. Alrighty? So you're gonna get a ton of rewards though in the process, so that's kind of nice. And then we're gonna make our way up right over here. Before you head off into the building, smash those two over here, those two kind of, I don't know, wine barrels or whatever the heck you want to call those. Get the candy apple, and then you could go ahead and walk your way inside. And then we're gonna smash some goodies over here. And over here as well. Excellent. Alrighty. And this is the first time that you get to play Skystones. This is basically what this map is very much revolved around. This is kind of, again, and one of those warnings. As you can see, I've got the best Skystones, so this is gonna make this process very, very easy. If you were to play here, you would obviously have a little bit weaker Skystones to use. Not a little bit, quite much weaker than these, so just again warning you. But at the same time, this battle is very, very simple, and I would be very surprised if someone did not win the first battle. It's just because the fact that as long as you have some common sense, it should be very, very easy to defeat this guy without any issue or problems, you know what I mean? So it's really one of those things that I think should be relatively easy for nearly everybody to complete. Again, I'm not trying to be like cocky or anything, I'm just saying my opinion, and I'm just gonna stick with it. But I'm gonna go ahead and destroy him real quick here, Mr. Fangs, who will then of course reward us with the key that we need, because that's all we care about. That's why we're here. I didn't even use Conquertron. What's up? I didn't even need to use Conquertron. How impressive is that? Alrighty, and he's gonna go for his final Spiderling, and we are victorious. 8-1. Fan-freaking-tastic. Alrighty, so you get rewarded with some cash. And of course, if this was your first time playing, you would also get, I believe he gives you a Skystone, like a better Skystone as well. So, again, be on the lookout for that. Now, once you make your way into this tiny little room, collect some coins by smashing all this stuff around. And then, of course, also grab that key, because that's really why we're here. That's the most important tool that we needed to grab from the area. Now, once you exit, bam, look at that. You get assaulted. Of course, this was kind of the boss fight in the last chapter was against this guy. And honestly, in my first recording of this, because I was recording it on Nightmare difficulty. On Nightmare difficulty, this guy is a much more problematic fella to deal with. So, again, quick warning, if you're dealing with those guys on Nightmare difficulty, yes, dodge their attacks, because it will become much more difficult to defeat them otherwise. So then you're going to come down here, get greeted by a couple of Joe Archers and some Chompies again. You're going to clear those suckers, and of course now we've got the key, which means that now we can go ahead and position this platform back in place. And go ahead and make our way across, correct? There we go. So we're gonna open the sucker up. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, the 3 elements that you need for this are basically kind of the 3 elements that you get in the starter packs, which is Undead, Life, and Wind. Now here, you're gonna be dealing with quite a bit of challenges in those Brock-looking guys. I always forget what their name is, like their actual name. So they're gonna come down here, and it's gonna be a bit challenging. They are not easy to deal with, especially again if you're playing this on Nightmare. Yeah, they are a pain in the butt, especially when there's 2 of them at once. It becomes very, very difficult to deal with them all. But as I always say, if you have a little bit of trouble, they kind of provide you with ways out. For example, you've got these giant boulders to assist you. So dodge the attack, wait for him to stop moving, drop that on him, and there you go. And now we've dealt with our challenges, right? So we're gonna crush these fellas over here. And just one more to go, so I'm just gonna smash him real quick. And once you've done that, you're gonna be greeted by Callie. Now before you continue, just go ahead and grab some of the stuff here, all the stuff that you worked so hard for. It's worthwhile, why not, right? After all, you did a ton of hard work. Now right up here, sorry. So here's where, again, as I say, you don't necessarily need a giant to pass this level, but it would be very helpful to have one. So if you want, there's 2 options that you could go about. You could go ahead and do that feat of strength, or otherwise, you could come into this room over here, and you could battle this guy in a Skystones battle, which, honestly, I'll tell you this. If you're playing this for the very first time, go ahead and battle him, because the reason why is because A, he will pull this boat in for you, and B, I believe he gives you a Skystone, which would be very useful, especially because at this point you have kind of, I don't want to say crappy, but not very strong sky stones, so it would be very beneficial to have a little, some more useful ones available to you. But once you've done that, in my case, I went ahead and just used my giant figure with a feat of strength, so that is helpful. But before you go on to the ship, there's actually a couple of things that you want to do over here. So, you would want to work your way up here, because I believe that there would be a soul gem right over here, so make sure to grab that. And then, what you would like to do is, when you cross over here, you're gonna go ahead and turn this platform to change it over to that side, right over there. And then right here, you're gonna get a winged sapphire by dropping down, and the way that you make your way out is just pushing that boulder out of your way. And then right over here, I believe that it's an, elementally locked area. So of course over here, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and switch on over to the one and only. In my case, it will be Jet-Vac. So in your case, it could be any other Air Skylander, whatever one you have in your collection. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and I believe there's a hat behind this particular area. But again, great way to again, something that you must do, and again, that's why you need an Air Skylander. I don't know why I was saying great way of doing things. Makes no sense. Alright, but once we're done with that, we can actually head off back to the boat right over here. And before you carry to where the coins are guiding you, right up here you would have found another treasure chest, so take care of that business for sure. That's definitely one of those things that a lot of times people just don't notice it because it's kind of well planted within the other disguises, so you don't really pay attention to it. But once you've got all the way up here, basically Callie is going to encourage you to go ahead and set off the cannon. Sounds good, Callie, and we're going to go ahead and follow her instructions and blast that gate wide open, where you are going to be now assaulted by 3 Mohawk Cyclopses. So once you make your way down here, get ready to battle. So you're going to go ahead and fly our way down. Come on, Jet-Vac. You're going very slowly, Jet-Vac. What is going on? There you go. Good job, bud. Much better. Much better. So I'm going to go ahead and use my combination of both inhaling and exhaling at the same time bullets, so very useful. And then we're going to make our way right up here, where there's a little bit of a challenging part with
the very best here on Pirate Island. You're gonna need more sky stones, cause you're not exactly playing with a full deck, if you know what I mean.
What a nice fella, huh?
Some more sky stones. We've got a scallywag locked up in our brig who had a pretty fancy deck, as I recall.
Alright, why don't you guys take away his deck? Okay, so first off, what you want to do is go ahead and push this cannon, fire right over here. And before you're done, just keep pushing the cannon. And again, this is another option of if you decided to not use a giant in this section, then you would probably you don't need to do all I'm doing right now, because as you can see, you could just break this with a giant. But we're gonna go ahead. No, what the heck? I didn't tell you to do that. I told you to shoot it. There you go. So once you've done that, you're gonna blow it up, and then back here, I believe, is where the Lockitron Wheel is. Again, I might be incorrect in terms of the naming of the things, like, it might have been a treasure chest here, but I'm almost 100% certain that it was a Lockitron Wheel. So once you've grabbed that, then you could go ahead and make your way back over here, to where now we can go back to our main story, I guess, kind of our main objective. And this time you're gonna just push this cannon all the way up to its limit, basically over there. And then what you need to do is pull on that lever so that the train tracks move. So now you could go ahead and push that. Now sometimes I like to just shoot Woof because it's hilarious. Look at him, he's showing off. Look, screw you. Okay, but once you've done that, you're gonna just keep pushing that all the way over here, and then you set it off to let this fella free, who is of course the bandit.
I've got a game now that I'm free. Promise I'll only cheat a little.
He's gonna cheat a little, but you want to go ahead and play Sky Stones against him because, of course, at this point, as I said before, you don't have a very strong team, and on top of that, you also get introduced to the element of the blocked area, meaning that if there's one of these things, you can't place a Sky Stone there. So you have to kind of work around that. Unfortunately, the game doesn't get very much more complicated than this in terms of the Sky Stones. It just kind of gets more like, oh hey, he's gonna use stronger characters than I am, and that's all. So it doesn't get any more complex. So I wouldn't say that oh, this is a very crucial component to know about Skylanders, is to know how to play Sky Stones in these situations. It really isn't that difficult of a game to understand, and even if you're not that great, with a little bit of practice, you should be able to get a handle of it. So that was, I believe that's his strongest creature, is that Blaster Troll over there.
Blaster Troll.
And other than that, he's really not that intimidating or anything troublesome, so you should be able to defeat him with relative ease as well, just with proper positioning, and that's all. Not much strategy required for this particular battle. Of course, you would be rewarded with some goodies and, of course, some Sky Stones as well. So that is the primary motive of doing this battle, is much more about getting some Sky Stones. Alright, we're gonna suck up some treasures over here, and then again, back to Wolf.
But watch your back. 'Tis a dangerous place.
Alright. Wolf is gonna let us in now. Excellent. So here we're gonna be greeted by executioners. Or sorry, executioner. It's executioners later on. Spoiler alert! Oh gosh darn it, I should have dodged that. Yeah, dodge his axe attacks. They are very damaging, so just try to dodge them if you can, some way, somehow. It's definitely worthwhile. There we go. Okay, so I was able to get rid of this sucker. And then here there's a ton of different stuff that we have to do. This is kind of the bulk of the objectives is done primarily here, I would, or at least that's what I would say, is that this area has a ton of stuff to do, so be ready.
I'll leave that part to you.
Of course, Callie is gonna brag that she's just gonna leave all the difficult stuff to us, and now we're back at it. Let's just suck up all those goodies over there. Then we're gonna make our way down here. You could actually get some items right over there as well, very useful. And then you're kind of done in this area, but now it's kind of almost up to you what you want to do in terms of how you want to approach this, where you want to go first. I prefer to go to the right first, just get that all done with and finished. So once you make your way up to the top here, you're going to be greeted by a couple of drow archers, and on top of that, there's going to be a couple of executioners. Remember how I said we're going to get greeted by a couple of them? Well, there they are. I wasn't lying. Gosh darn it. You see that? That's a ton of damage. I'm level 10, so I mean, if you're coming in this battle early on, yes, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be an easy battle, so watch out for those executioners. They are by far the most difficult creatures to deal with on this particular chapter. Now, once you're done that, you're going to go ahead and push this crate right over here. And then you're going to come around. Now, you're going to first come up here, and you're going to clear all those suckers right there. And then you're going to actually also do this. There's a couple of things that you have to kind of get done on this part. And once you've done that, before you continue onwards, I mean, if you want, you could go ahead. I actually do like to get rid of these drow archers because they're a little bit of a pain in the butt. So just go ahead and take those suckers out. They shouldn't be too much trouble to you at this point. Right up here, you can actually suck up some more goodies. Again, more jewelry and more valuables so that you could get your upgrades going and things like that. So very useful, especially because considering the fact that we still haven't run across Uruk, it's very good to collect as much treasure as you can before you go into the shop. That way you could buy whatever it is that you desire to buy at that time. So once we're done with that, you can go ahead and basically you're finished with this area. There's not much else you need to do, but we actually need to return back up here for a moment's time. Because there is an elementally locked area right over here. So we're going to go ahead and switch into our undead Skylander. In my case, it's going to be, guess woohoo! Yay, correct. Chop, chop. If you said chop, chop, high five yourself right now. Go. Yay. Okay, we high five. Alrighty, so here, there's a little bit, it's really not much of a puzzle. It's just kind of a, it's almost a little bit tedious, I would say, really, simply because it does require a little bit of time. And basically what you want to do is you want to shift this crate over here. It doesn't matter if you went to the right first or to the left. It really does not matter. And then you want to go ahead and press that, press this as well. Why not? Come back around over here, and then you're going to press that button. So I'm pretty sure you're getting what you need to do at this point already, right? And then you just shift this crate onwards, onwards, and onwards. Keep pushing it down. There you go. Now, if you didn't bring that up like I did, of course, you could just go from that side. It doesn't really matter. And then you're going to come back around, work your way over here, launch that second stone, so that now you could actually kind of make a nice little crossing for yourself. You're going to put the crate back to its original position. And once you've done that, you can bring on the pain. Well, there's not a lot of paint to bring on, actually. Okay, so collect some goodies over here. Again, always do not miss out on goodies. Now, right here, it's a lot easier to just go ahead and switch to the giant, but I'm actually gonna show you where to find the bomb, just because I'm gonna stick with Chop Chop for the rest of the level. At least I think so. I think there's no other elementally locked area. So basically what you want to do is, once you're done with that, again, watch out for these knives. At this point, they move relatively slowly, and chapters down the line, they actually do speed these knives up, so they do become a little bit damaging, but at this point, they're not too much of a pain in the butt. So after that, you want to actually run over here, grab that bomb. You have 16 seconds, which is plenty of time to make your way back to that, gosh, what do you call it? Not a wall, to the gate. There we go. And once you've blown that up, you can access a treasure chest or whatever it may be. But again, if you want to save yourself time, just switch into a giant, whatever it may be. Or if you have Eye-Brawl, you could use an undead giant as well. And then you don't even have to do any of this backtracking at all. So it's really kind of up to you how you approach this. If you're playing with a smaller character and you just want to stick with that character, such as I do, then you have the other option of just finding the bomb. But once you've done that, you're going to watch out here, because of course you don't want to get hit by the knives, and then you're going to jump up. Of course, on these kind of almost folded areas, there's a ton of jewelry. There's some on the other platform as well, if you remember. And once you're done that, you're going to make your way up here, where you will find one of the hats. It would be right here. You would pop that present open, and once you're done, use the teleporter to get teleported back, all the way back to the beginning. And now And now that we're done with that, we can go ahead and make our way over here. Position this crate right there. Excellent.
Now you just need the key to open that gate.
Sounds good. So Callie, of course, informing us the obvious thing, that hey, we just need a key to open the gate, which sounds relatively easy. But before that, we actually have to make our way up here and deal with a little bit of oppositional forces in both Mohawk Cyclopses and this, gosh, I forget his name again. Why do I always forget that name? I always call him Brock, but I know that Brock is the name of the character that is of the same creature type. Oh, watermelon, give me watermelon, I love it. But his name is not Brock, obviously. Alright, get rid of that last Mohawk Cyclops. And this area is actually very difficult on Nightmare mode, simply because there's an overwhelming amount of enemies and there's not a lot of room to move. So take advantage of the space that you do have available to you for sure. Now, well, actually, you might as well head up here, grab the key. She's gonna tell you that you can now go ahead and come back around, but before you're done with that, you're gonna go ahead and drop down here, come into this room over here, and in this room, right underneath those crates that I just broke, there's actually a button right there. You see it? And that's the button that activated on the outside to allow those spikes to come down. And then over here you have Urek, who will sell you a ton of goodies. I believe that over here you can actually, for the first time, buy like heroic challenges from him. I believe like Charm Hunt or something. And then he'll have some hats as well and some other goodies for you. So again, make sure to bring quite a bit of cash to his shop, because you're going to be doing a lot of spending there. But once you're done with that area, you're going to go ahead and push this block out of the way, and then of course we need to access this room, the newly unlocked room, where again you would, I believe that the legendary treasure was in here, so you would go ahead and grab that, and once you're done with all this goodies, that's it. Now you can head off to the boss fight, I guess you would say, right? And then basically you just want to keep going forwards and onwards, in our case, and here we go. We've made our way to the top of the mountain. Gonna go ahead and unlock that. Grab that apple over there to have good health for the beginning.
Say, you wouldn't know where I could find the likes of a pilot named Flynn, would ye? That hornswaggler owes me 5 gold pieces. Unless I just take it from ye.
That's not very nice.
Hearties?
Okay, so of course, first off, he's going to summon quite a bit of enemies to come at you. And I mean quite a bit. Like, there's going to be a good amount of challenges. That's why I recommend to go into this relatively strong. As you can see, he's going to summon in a couple of executioners. So just be ready to get your butt kicked. It's okay if you do. Especially, again, as I keep pointing out, on Nightmare difficulty, it will be particularly difficult to deal with these fellas.
Well, what kind of pirate captain would I be if I didn't have more guards?
You would be a bad pirate captain, I would guess. But once you've dealt with those guys, guess what? You're going to be greeted by more. So don't get used to the fact that, hey, I just won. Don't get comfortable. Let's put it that way. because then you're going to be assaulted by a ton of other enemies. Luckily for me, I am pretty strong, and on top of that, I am not dealing with the highest level of difficulty, at least not right now. I already beat this on the highest level of difficulty as well. You'll see that in Chapter 5, because in Chapter 5, you'll see how I'm doing. Oh, wow. Look at that. You see, even on the lower difficulties, I was making a mistake. I was being too aggressive. I really need to just take my time, let them assault me, and once they stop, come in there and cause some mayhem. So let him stop, and then bam, bam, bam. There we go. Slice and dice him, and you're done with that.
Can't blame me for trying, can you?
I can't blame
Why
you.
don't we smooth things over with a fine game of Sky Stones?
Why not?
Okay, mayhaps.
Okay, but the reason why I said no is because when I first played this, if you remember on my walkthrough, there was quite a bit of stuff left over, like coins and everything from all the enemies that I beat, and I didn't get a chance to collect it all, so you could go ahead and say no and collect some of the stuff, such as, like, whatever, experience points and things like that, so just make sure to take advantage of that. But for now, we collected everything, so that's not a concern for us, so let's get into the battle. Now, I'll be fair with you guys, this battle will be a tiny little bit challenging if you're coming in here originally, like you're playing the very first time, because of the fact that he's got pretty good Sky Stones, and you've got, at this point, not very good Sky Stones. But that being said, if you play strategically, if you play smart in terms of don't be just overly offensive, like, try to play defensively too. Like, if you've got a square that you could just protect better, then just go for that. Keep the move safe. Again, remember, you can even win by just one stone, and that's still victory. So just keep that in mind and don't make a lot of silly errors. And of course, the other thing that you get introduced to is the elemental zones.
Spiderlings.
And these elemental zones are very influential in later battles. And the one thing that I forgot to mention to you before I place my last Sky Stone over here, the Conquertron, just for fun, I would mention to you guys, in Yurik's shop on this level, you can buy a Gargantula, I believe for 1,000 gold. It's a really, really good Sky Stone, and if you have that one going into this battle, it makes this battle a heck of a ton easier. So if you can afford it, go ahead and purchase that, and that will be very helpful for you, in this particular battle. Bam! Look at that. Victory is ours. Fan-freaking-tastic. Nice. You get rewarded with a good amount of change there.
Ye be a fine player, says I. But if you seize that Flynn fella, you tell him that he still owes me.
Alrighty, and there you have it. We've repaired the ship. We've completed everything that we had to complete for this particular level. Of course, as I always say, the only thing that we aren't completing all the time on these 100% walkthroughs is the dare. So basically, we completed all the collections. Nice fireworks for us. Thank you very much. But as you can see, we completed all the collection stuff. We've got everything that we needed to. But right over here on the dares, as you can see, it took us 19 minutes to beat this level. Meanwhile, you're supposed to complete it in 8 minutes and 15 seconds. So again, as I always say, do one run focusing on only collecting all the collectibles, and then do another run focusing on nothing but finishing the level as quickly as possible, and then you'll have all 3 stars for sure. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you found it informative. Please hit that like button if you did. That's a great sign, so that you guys want to see more. It really helps me out as well. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Of course, go ahead and share the video and favorite the video. Those are other great ways to show support for the channel and the community. I really like the fact that you guys enjoyed that last episode. Of course, these are going to become a much more often recurring sequence, because the fact that now I've got a little bit more time. I just finished with all my big projects for school, so now again I have a little more free time, so now I can record more. So that's why there's going to be more videos coming your way, including these 100% walkthrough videos. Now that I rambled on for way too long, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Blitzwinger out. See you later.